Which one is better for your business? Facebook ads or Google ads? Now, this is not going to be one of those videos where it says it depends on your situation and maybe give both a try and see how it all works out. Because I'm going to be giving you some very clear reasons for why you should be focusing your time in learning one of these platforms and why that same platform should be the one which gets the vast majority of your marketing budget. Now, I do agree that if you're an established business, you need to be present on both of these platforms. However, if we're in a world where you could only choose one of these platforms, the clear winner for me would be
all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Google Ads. Now, I know what you're saying. Of course you would say Google Ads is the best option, Aaron, because you do call yourself the 15,000 hour Google Ads master. But I want to make it clear that is not the reason for why. And the reason for why I've solely focused on Google Ads over the last 12 years is because I truly believe that Google Ads is the better option for my business and also for your business. And I'm not alone in this belief, because if you look at the financial records for both Facebook and Google for 2021 and only look at their advertising revenue, so the money that they're getting from their ad platforms, Google Ads was the clear winner in terms of percentage growth, with Facebook's revenue growing by 37.2% and Google's ad revenue growing by 42.6%. And before you say, well, 5% isn't that much, what you need to remember is that Google's ad revenue was already nearly double that of Facebook. So 5% growth is huge. And when you break it down to the actual increase in revenue, it looks like this. When you look over the 2021 period, Google's ad revenue grew by $62.5 million, while Facebook's ad revenue only grew by $31.9 million, meaning that Google got double the amount of new ad revenue coming into the industry. And the reason for why this is so significant is because both Google and Facebook are well-established channels in the digital marketing space, with Google Ads launching in 2000 and Facebook launching in 2007. So you can't attribute this growth to new trends or Facebook being newer or Google being more established, because they've both been around for more than 10 years. So this leads us to one main reason for why Google is quickly outgrowing Facebook in ad revenue, and that main reason is results. Like it or not, the pure facts is that Google creates more relevant sales and inquiries than what Facebook does. And we know this because money trails don't lie. When it comes to advertising businesses, money follows where there are the most results. So the reason for why Google grew quicker than Facebook is because many businesses saw that they were getting far superior results on Google rather than Facebook. So rewinding back to 2010, why did I choose to focus on Google Ads rather than Facebook ads? Now, like many businesses, when I started my first business, I only had the spare money to focus on one channel, being Google Ads or Facebook. So I looked heavily into the differences between these two channels because I knew this decision of whether I invest my money into Google Ads or into Facebook could literally make or break my business. So because this business was so important, I spent a lot of time looking at the different pros and cons for each platform. And today I want to share with you my top 5 reasons for why you should be using Google Ads and not Facebook ads to market your business. And the first reason for why I chose Google is because it is based on search. The core difference between these two platforms is that Google is based on search. So you're targeting people who are searching for specific search terms related to your product or service, and you're showing your ads when they're right in that mode of buying or actively researching which product or service they should use. Whereas at its core, Facebook is all about targeting. So you're targeting different people based on their demographics or audiences or recent life events or pages they like or pages they follow. And the benefit for Google is this, is that your ads are reaching people right when they are ready to buy or they're actively researching your product. So there's no interruption factor. You're not having to grab their attention. You're targeting the people as they are already looking for you. So the roles are reversed, because in Facebook, you're trying to get their attention when they're scrolling through their Facebook or Instagram feed or looking at funny dog videos. And this is the power in Google, is because the person is actually finding you. What you're making sure is that then when they're looking for the answer, that they choose you, as opposed to Facebook, where you're interrupting them and trying to grab their attention. So you can see with Google versus Facebook, with Google as the advertiser, you have all of the power, as opposed to Facebook, where you're trying to interrupt and gain some power from that customer. And the second reason for why Google is the better option is because you actually get the best of both worlds. Because with Google advertising, it's based on search plus audiences and demographic targeting. Now, I know just previously I said before is that Google is built on search. And yes, that is true. But one of the biggest misconceptions with Google Ads is that it is only based on search. And that is completely incorrect. Because with Google Ads, you have 4 core targeting options. Firstly, as we've said, you've got keyword targeting. Then you've also got demographic and audience targeting. And then you can also target people by their location. And then finally by the device that they are using, whether it would be mobile, a tablet, or a computer. So with Google Ads, you're not just targeting someone who's looking to buy a new Nike Air hoodie. You can actually target someone who's looking to buy a new Nike Air hoodie, who's between 35 to 44 years old, who lives in Brisbane and has many interests, including running and walking. So with Google Ads, you're not just targeting the keyword, you're also targeting the type of person and their behaviors who are searching for that current keyword. And that is something that Facebook just simply cannot offer you. Now, it's getting pretty hot under these lights, so let's take this off. All right, I'm back and that's a bit better now. Let's now get into that third reason for why Google Ads is far better than Facebook ads. And the reason is because Google Ads is data-driven, not ad copy driven. My belief is that one of the reasons why Facebook ads is so popular is because people love to write the ad copy, create different images, and also create videos. And because as marketers and business owners, they like to think that they have the power, that they are the ones that created those results because it was their funky ad copy or their attention-grabbing headline or their great image or their funny video or their engaging video, whatever the situation is. And it speaks to and it appeals to the desire of we all want to be the hero of the story. We want to know that it was our ad copy or our images or our videos that made the difference, and without them that the campaign would fail. And that's where Google is different, is because success in Google is driven by data. And let's be honest, scrolling through line after line of data, looking for different data points, looking for different interactions, sometimes isn't very sexy. And it can actually take time for a business owner or a marketer to actually work out what is going to be the best keywords, to target the best demographics and locations and times and different headlines that are going to work for that particular business. But the great thing about Google Ads is once you've gone through all that data and you actually find out what works for that individual business, you can then manage your Google Ads campaign for under an hour a week and easily scale that campaign with no further work going above that hour a week. Whereas with Facebook ads, you're entered into an endless cycle of having to create new ad content, of having to shoot new videos, shoot new images, all so that you stay relevant and that your ads don't lose any relevance. And that's the other big change that I've seen between Facebook ads and Google ads, is that with Facebook ads, your results can go up and down because it's based on an individual ad or an individual ad copy. And now we come to the fourth reason for why Google ads is so much better than Facebook ads, and that is that you have much better retargeting and remarketing options on Google ads. One of the major drawbacks for Facebook ads is that you actually have to be on the platform in order to see your ads. So the user actually has to be actively in Facebook or Instagram in order to even see your ads. And that's just not the case with Google. And the reason for that is because Google just has a much wider net. In fact, the Google Display Network targets up to 90% of all internet users. And it doesn't stop there, because you can even target people when they're checking their email through Gmail advertising, or even when they're watching YouTube videos like this on YouTube ads. And then I come to my fifth and final reason for why Google ads is better than Facebook ads. And this one is probably the most significant and the most important and probably the most controversial, because I believe that in the next 5 to 7 years, this discussion will actually be irrelevant. And the reason for that is because Facebook ads will no longer be relevant, with my prediction being that the core marketing channels to use within the digital space will be Google ads and then possibly Amazon marketing and another social platform. And the reason for why I believe that Facebook will no longer be a main channel in 5 to 7 years is because I believe Facebook suffers from the I'm getting away from my parents effect. In my early 20s when Facebook first launched, everyone was on Facebook. And then people my age started leaving Facebook and going to Instagram because they were sick of their mum or dad or grandparents ruining a perfect post. And that same trend is now happening with Instagram, where younger people are moving off the platform because they're just feeling that there's too many Karens and Darrens on Instagram at the moment. Now, with that first transition from Facebook to Instagram, Facebook were lucky in that they were able to actually buy and acquire Instagram. And my prediction is that this next time around, Facebook will not be that lucky, in that they won't be able to buy or acquire any of the new emerging social platforms, which are going to eventually overtake Facebook. And for me, that is the core issue. And I think it's the most important issue that you should also consider. If you're going to spend your time mastering a channel that you can use to market your business, you'd better invest in a channel that is still going to be around in 5, 10, and 20 years from now. And as I said, my firm belief is that Google will still be there, but Facebook ads will not. So there you have it, my 5 reasons for why you should be focusing on Google ads and not Facebook ads. And if you are really serious and wanting to learn how you can use Google ads to grow your business or to grow the business of others because you're wanting to become a Google ads freelancer, then I want to invite you to join my Google Ads 10X community. Because in this upcoming community, I'm going to be sharing members only advanced Google Ads teaching and masterclasses. There will also be monthly live group coaching and Q&A sessions. And then finally, it'll give you a chance to connect to other people who are passionate about Google Ads from all over the world, so that we can encourage and also share the latest strategies that are working in Google Ads right now. And if this is something that you'd be interested to be a part of, why don't you go through and pre-register right now by following the link in the description. Once again, thank you for joining me. My name is Aaron Young and I'm your 15,000 hour Google Ads Master. And if you want to stay up to date with what is working in Google Ads right now, why don't you consider giving me a quick subscribe? And then finally, if you're currently running some Google shopping campaigns and you'd like to know more about how you can optimize those shopping campaigns, why don't you go through and watch this video right here? Or if you've got some Performance Max campaigns and they're not getting the results that you'd like to see, go through and watch my optimization video for Performance Max campaigns right here. Thank you again. See you next time.